Hey everybody, I'm your host Kris, K-R-I-S. If you're new to my channel, nice to meet ya. If you ain't new, then, well, welcome back and welcome to episode 0 of my very first, I guess it's a different type of show. I guess Let's Plays are a show, but this is a different entity altogether. It's a podcast, or a video cast, whatever these are called. I have no idea. I'm not on the up and up of today's niche buzzwords, but I've been wanting to make this for a while, and the main reason why we'll get into in a second. But you know, if you do enjoy this, just let me give you a little heads up of what I'd love for you to do, and you know what I'd love for you to do because this is YouTube and it's all anyone ever talks about. Hit the like button, whatever that means. Go down and press the thumbs up. And if you want, if you enjoy everything, subscribe, or more importantly, become a patron over on my Patreon and support me directly, because that would be freaking fantastic. So if this is something that you enjoy, then please go ahead and do that, because it bring my happiness from here, which is already pretty damn high, and I go, what, oh shit, you know. But yeah, you know, this wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Patreon. It wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my Twitch subscribers and all that, because, well, my big black dick over here, I used to have to use a headset, and I ain't making a podcast with a headset, all right? A headset and no filter, goddamn. But that'd be pretty interesting. But the reason why I'm making this is because normally I'm a Let's Player, which means I make gaming videos. And I'm a Twitch streamer, which means I stream gaming videos. And, you know, I talk a lot, man. I can talk for hours on end. In fact, I regularly talk for hours on end. And oftentimes I'll think of, or I'll come into the recording or stream that day with an idea of a topic I want to talk about. Maybe some news on a video game, or a console, or a movie, or an anime, or whatever it may be. And I'll start talking about it, and I'll look at the chat room, and we'll have a nice little back and forth. And then suddenly a monster jumps through the window, I get distracted, I get killed, and whatever we were talking about is lost in time forever. So picture this as, in a way, more me unfiltered, but also more focused, and with the ability to hopefully maintain a thought, which would be actually pretty difficult for me. But that's mainly what this be all about. Now, it's not going to be a gaming-centric podcast. It's not going to be a topic-focused podcast. It's going to be me just running my mouth for a bit, and we'll see what spits out. I do have a couple of things I'd like to talk about, though, every now and then, and today I have at least 2 things. I'll bring them up in a bit. They be, could Tenchu return on the PlayStation 5, and too late to buy a PlayStation 4 perhaps. I'll talk about those in a little smidgen. But first, I'm going to talk about me. First, I'm going to talk about me. Ignore the mat over here. Ignore that. That's my workout mat. I have the workout mat on camera most of the times because only douchebags announce that they work out, bro. You know, only douchebags do that. But if I have the mat on screen, you know, you're like looking at that and you go, hey, that's like an exercise mat. This guy must exercise. You know, so I don't have to tell you I actually exercise if you see it yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm not a douchebag when I point it out over there. My weights are over there. They're very heavy. No, what I was going to talk about was today is actually Father's Day, which is funny because it's also my sister's birthday. It's June 17th. So it's my sister's birthday. It's Father's Day. And I started AloversGaming, the name of this YouTube channel, on Easter Sunday. And it's also Sunday. And the reason it's funny to me is because this, in a way, this is a different show, right? So it's like, in a way, a rebirth to a degree of the channel and of me. And it's all coincidence. You know what I mean? Both were on Sunday, Easter Sunday, Father's Day this year, my sister's birthday the same day, and I'm making a renewal to this channel. That's pretty damn crazy. Because 8 months ago, I was like, I'm done with YouTube. YouTube's trash. I'm out. You know? Back when I started this channel, gaming was on the rise on YouTube. It wasn't exactly the juggernaut it became, and it definitely wasn't the graveyard it has become since then. And I was actually one of the original, believe it or not, back in 2007, 2 years after YouTube's first existence. I was one of the original people that started making gaming videos with commentary. It was actually off-camera work too, meaning the webcam was pointed towards the television, and you could actually see the outline of the rim of the TV and a bit of the PlayStation 3 beside it. And my very first video was, my first 3 videos were Tenchu 3 versus mode videos. And the only audio didn't come from my microphone, it came from the microphone built in to the webcam. Those videos are long gone. This is going back, if you weren't around on YouTube back in the old days, you'd get deleted for nothing. Like, you upload a music video, I guess that happens these days still, but you upload a music video back then, dead. You upload, this is just when YouTube started getting really big, or just before that happened, and all the copyright started striking down. Nowadays, you have channels, official channels dedicated to music. Like, you have the official Britney Spears or Ariana Grande, or whatever her name is. They have their official channels. Back in the old days, you had to upload that shit yourself if you wanted to see it. And YouTube was like the sentinels out of the Matrix. You know, be searching for you. Where's that video at, man? Oh, there it is. Funny enough, I actually uploaded Green Day's holiday music video. And as far as I could find, I was the only person on YouTube at that time who had Green Day's holiday music video uploaded, uncensored, and with good audio quality. I was the only person. That's how small it was back then. Even 2 years after its creation, YouTube was teeny. So I had 3 Let's Play videos, and everything got taken down. And they're still on the internet. You can go find them, because every time you upload something to YouTube, somebody out there steals it and puts it on a different website. I found them about 6 years ago. You can go find them if you want. And you can see 18-year-old me with greasy hair and hair down to here. Not emo, just unkept and long. And talking shit into a microphone. So I guess the only thing that's really changed is I've gotten more wrinkles and a worse hairline. But overall, this is pretty exciting for me, because it's like a whole new world, and hope everybody enjoys it. But to get on to point on what I do want to talk about, one of my very first playthroughs was actually Tenchu, and I thought it'd be fitting today if I did bring out some more similarities and talked about Tenchu in my very first, or episode 0 of the podcast. The biggest thing that people do talk about is if it will return. Will it come back? Will it stay? Is the franchise dead forever? What we do know is the developers from Software were indeed making a Tenchu game a year or 2 ago. And they got, I think, like 20% in and said, nah, this sucks. We don't want to do this. Let's cancel it. We want to do our own thing. We want to start fresh from our own universe. And they did just that, and they made Sekiro. And if you play Sekiro, you notice a lot of similarities with Tenchu. The stealth, the way the stealth works, and the god awful AI when you're hiding from people. It's ridiculously bad and hasn't changed at all since the PlayStation 1 era. So it's Tenchu to a T. But It's not Tenchu. It's Sekiro. So, will we ever get a Tenchu game again? And going by the fact that Sekiro was a Tenchu game, I feel like the answer is yes. And there's also other factors as to why that could be. The first thing is, Tenchu is a smaller franchise, which is actually probably one of the reasons why it's not back, because From have hit it big. From Software have hit it big since Demon Souls. And Tenchu's not going to sell, 2 million units. But what Tenchu does have is, because it's a smaller franchise, and the usual Tenchu game is 10 missions with 2 characters, that is a very budget-friendly game, right? That's a very budget-friendly game. It's a very safe game, and there's already an existing fan base for it, however small they may be. So if you were to take Tenchu, with the money From Software have been making these days, Sekiro is their biggest selling game ever. Fastest selling game ever, I believe. It sold over 2 million in 2 weeks. And despite Dark Souls being a massive hit, everyone knows Dark Souls. It's a huge influence on gaming in the communities and in development. So many other games have taken massive cues from Dark Souls. It sold about 2 million in its entire lifetime. So, From Software have been on the up and the up and the up in terms of success. So, to me, I'm not a businessman. I'm just talking for myself, I feel like it wouldn't break the bank if they had a 10 mission structured Tenchu game and kept it isolated in levels of these 10 missions, not open world, not having to worry about a million routes to enter a castle or anything like that. If they kept it small, 10 missions is what I personally would want. Basically, the closer the Tenchu 1, the better. And I think that's a real possibility when you think about it, because these dudes over there in that amazing company, they're working on these big projects again and again and again these days, that once they expand a little bit or get bought out by Microsoft and Sony, which is what some people want to happen, which I am totally against, alright? Hell no. But what I would like to see is, when they do get big enough, they're making some other game right now, that they can have a game like Tenchu as an in-between, is more budget friendly. There's an existing franchise there, an existing fan base because of it, and even though it's small, you're guaranteed sales, And now From Software have their name recognition out there. Everyone loves From, and the ones that don't, well, they're fucking bitches. Who cares what they think? So I think it's a very real possibility that Tenchu 5 could be on the PlayStation 5. And I wouldn't say I'm 100%. I wouldn't even say I'm 70% sure. I'd say there's a 50-50. It's either going to happen or it ain't going to happen. But I'm hoping it will. And I think the signs are there. Outside of motivation for the developers to make it, I think the signs are there that it could happen. And all you need is that one Tenchu fan in the office to go, yo, let's make Tenchu. Because if there's one thing I've noticed about From Software, they're not like Ubisoft. They're not like Rockstar. They're not like those companies. They're all, hey, what do we feel like making? And even though the games are kind of similar in their own style but different, they have like the soul essence. Even though they're similar with Bloodborne and Sekiro and the next game they're making, they're different. And I think if Tenchu comes back, you're going to have a bit of soul essence into it. You may not want it, but it's going to happen. It's probably going to be a little tough. It's probably going to have some weird level system death thing going on. And don't complain about that, because the best part about that is it will ignite the interest in the Souls fans. And at the end of the day, if Tenchu 5 comes out, and if Tenchu 5 sells well because of the interest from the Souls fans, Tenchu 6, sales matter. Money matters. You need to make money. That's the only reason franchises go away. What's that fighting game? It came out a couple of months ago. Soul Calibur 6 comes out, right? Developers are like, dude, I had to fight everyone in the office to convince them to make Soul Calibur 6. And they were like, man, nobody buys that shit. That franchise is dead. We killed it because we don't balance it right, and we market it towards casuals who only care about customization. And this dude was like, no, dude, we got this. We got this. We can make a Soul Calibur game that will sell. Soul Calibur comes out, marketed towards casuals with the customizations. Hitboxes are all fucked up, and is dead. Nobody plays it. Maybe 900 people on Steam. It's dead, you know? Tekken, still growing. Everyone wants Tekken. Everyone loves Tekken. Because it's marketed properly and it's aimed towards the right demographic. So with Tenchu, you might not want any Souls influence, but you want it to be marketed towards people who will buy that game. A From Software label game these days is going to sell. A Tenchu game you're going to buy. You put those two together, that's a beautiful cake, you know? And the icing is that now we're headed into an era where they're able to make pretty ass games, and we have the hardware to make them look pretty too. So we could possibly be getting the greatest Tenchu game of all time. At least in terms of structure. Maybe tone is different. I spent a long time talking about how I love Tenchu 2. The prequel, the Tenchu 1. Sequel in number, prequel in story. But I realized over the years, Tenchu 1 is the better game. I don't know if it's a placebo, but the controls are definitely better, I feel. But more importantly, the atmosphere in Tenchu 1 is fantastic. It's magical, the PlayStation 1 in a way. How the limitations of the draw distance makes some games work better. Tenchu and Silent Hill immediately come to mind, where there's an endless fog. And Tenchu looks great. When you can't see 10 feet in front of you, everything's black, it's a nighttime level, it suits it. It looks amazing. Whereas the future games, Tenchu 3, Fatal Shadows, and Tenchu 4, even though you can see down the street, they kind of have this washed out, not so dark, not so gritty look to them. But if anything we've learned from Software since Demon's Souls, every one of their games since then, including Sekiro and Bloodborne, have had this dark and gritty tone of one kind or another. You know what I mean? So get Sekiro, nighttime levels, mission-based, stealth-focused, bigger influence. Boom. There you go. And the best part about it, with the success of all these games this amazing company have made, I'm a fanboy for this company, man. No more first-person Tenchu. The best thing about it, no more. Tenchu 4 has been sitting over there for 9 months, mainly because I don't want to touch it. Only because I don't want to touch it. And that's because it's in first person when it comes to combat. They were like, hey, it's on the Wii. Let's have you dingle the stick. You know, no more jumping backflips, somersaults, firing flaming arrows, throwing spikes, throwing the cattle prods or whatever they are. What are they called? The spikes on the ground. You know, all that shit. No more on the Wii. But PlayStation 5, you know, I have my hopes up. And you know what? Reboot it. I'm against reboots normally. I don't give a fuck about reboots. If you reboot something, I'm not going to be part of it. Normally. That's why I don't watch most superhero movies. You know, they're going to get rebooted. Except for the Marvel ones right now. That's why I don't read comic books. Because I don't care if Batman's Batman. If I'm reading a Batman story arc for 5 years, and then they have a wizard go, whoo, and suddenly everything's being retconned. Oh, Barbara has 4 legs now, but she still remembers they were engaged. Only Bruce doesn't remember because the writers don't want them together anymore. You know, that's a different character. When you erase someone's mind, they're a different character. Reboots do that. I don't like it. So I don't stay on board with this stuff. But with Tenchu, you can reboot it in a way that freshens it up. Because, come on, man, how many times do you want to see Onikage? You know, is this the Power Rangers? How many times do you want to see this shit? Bring in a new character. You might be like, but Onikage is cool. He's essential to the franchise. He ain't essential, man. You're saying that because you haven't been given the chance to see any other villains. You know what I mean? They haven't introduced any other villains that are worth a damn. So you're thinking, oh, we need Onikage. But with a good writer, you don't need anything. You need someone new. You can get someone new. Or, you know, I guess with a good writer, you can bring Onikage back. And we can kill him for the 1 millionth time. And have him come back again in the next game. But whatever, you know. I think a soft reboot could help it out. What's funny is, I'm now 4 years older than Rikimaru was in Tenchu 1 when I first played it back in 99. So that's kind of depressing. But yeah, I think Tenchu is coming back. And it's a 50-50. But I'm gonna go with the positive on this. I like to be on the positive side of life. And I think it's gonna be pretty marvelous, hopefully. So I'm not saying take my word for it. But, you know, keep up to date with me, man. You know, come back and be like, hey Kris, did you hear about this news? And I'm like, yeah, I did. Give it another year, man. Just wait till next E3. Hell yeah. But I've been mentioning the PlayStation 5. I haven't been talking about the PlayStation 4 because PlayStation 4 is dead. It's on its way out. You know? And the topic I was thinking about was, someone asked this a few days ago. Is it too late to buy a PlayStation 4? And normally for me, when people ask the question, is it too late to buy this console? Is it too late to buy a PlayStation 4, 3, 2, 1, Xbox 360, whatever it may be? Normally, my answer is, hell no. What? It's never too late to buy a new console that's an old console. It's not too late to buy a Sega Genesis. Because the games are still all there. I mean, you want to have the money to be able to buy them. But they're still all there, you know what I mean? The library is complete. All the best games are in the world. And mostly for cheap as dirt. No way in hell is it too late to buy a Sega Genesis or a PlayStation 1 original. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. You'll have a bigger problem getting the freaking controllers, the official controllers. They're a headache to get. But game-wise, the library's there. It's not too late. You know? However, PlayStation 4. From everything we've learned on the small bit of information we have with the PlayStation 5, it's backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. As in, you can put your PlayStation 4 games into it, and the PlayStation 5 will play them in a better way than the PlayStation 4 will. They were like, here's Spider-Man. It used to take 8 seconds, and now it takes 0.8 seconds to load a screen or something like that. And you're sitting there, and you're like, dude, this is awesome. You know what I mean? And it's not like the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2. In this, the extra power could potentially allow us to play the games on the PlayStation 4 that were limited by the PlayStation 4's power and push them to new heights on the PlayStation 5. It's like, dude, you put in Bloodborne. At average, runs at 26 frames. You put it into the PlayStation 5, you download it, PlayStation 5. Holy shit. Solid 60 frames? Frame pacing issues gone? Dude, Sekiro, 60 frames. You know what I mean? That'd be amazing. So I'm sitting here and the question, is it too late to buy a PlayStation 4? And I'm like, ooh, I think it might be. I think it might be too late to buy a PlayStation 4. I mean, if you were watching, maybe you have a PlayStation 4 already, right? But think about it if you're someone who doesn't have a PS4. You've made it this far already. You've lasted since 2013 till now without buying a PlayStation 4. What's another year? Another year and a half. What's another year? $500 when it comes out because it's apparently going to be pretty damn good. You know? $500. Start saving now. Game console comes out. PlayStation 5 comes out. PlayStation 4 games. Dirt cheap. Buy the PlayStation 4 games. Boom. You got like 10 new games you've never played before that you've always wanted to play, which is why you're asking yourself this question, is it too late to buy the PlayStation 4? Now you can play it in higher resolution and better frame rate with better loading times. And it's marvelous, better sound quality most likely, all this good stuff coming out. So to me, yes, if you do not own a PlayStation 4 right now, if you already don't own one, don't buy one. Wait a year. You will be so thankful. Now, we only know so much as of the date of this video. We only know so much. June 17th, 2019. But 6 months from now, maybe it'll be different. Maybe more negative, maybe more positive. If it's more positive, more reasons to buy a PlayStation 5. 6 months from now, though, if you haven't already bought a PlayStation 4, you know, maybe you shouldn't, because now it's even closer to the PlayStation 5 release. Unless you really want to get them exclusives. Uncharted 4, though. 60 frames. PlayStation 5. Loading times. Gone. You know, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what goes through my mind now. It's crazy. It's wild. And that's gotten me excited about it. Dude, just think about it. I'm not saying don't buy a PS4. PS4 is fucking great. It's a little loud, but it's great. I'm just saying, if the PlayStation 5 can play all PS4 games, better resolution, better sound, better frame rate, why not wait another year? What's the point? You know what I mean? Spend this year saving your pennies for the PS5. Spend this year saving your pennies for a good set of headphones, because the PS5 is going to be upgrading that audio, which is what I'm most excited about of everything. And buy yourself a 4K monitor with as little input latency as possible, so you can play all those cool ass fighting games. You know? That's where I'm at. I mean, it's probably going to be the most expensive console to ever fully get the most out of, ever since the PS3 release, I guess, Xbox 360 release, when people had to buy the HD TVs. You know, this is like another generation jump like that. Should everything they say be true about what's to come. But for me personally, going off the rumors, it's going to be worth it. And the Xbox, the next Xbox, if it's like the PlayStation 5, you know what I mean? Just you know, Xbox don't got any games. But yeah, if you're asking me my honest opinion, wait till the PlayStation 5 comes out. Going off the information we have as of today. I'm not saying, you know, I could be wrong. Who the fuck am I? I don't know shit. But PlayStation 5, man, I'd personally wait. That's all I gotta say, man. I'd personally wait. Yeah. That's it. That's my main topic, you know? That's really all I want to talk about. In terms of that. Outside of news, outside of interest that interests me with the gaming world of upcoming stuff. I mean, There's games coming out that I don't have any interest in. What's Cyberpunk? What the hell is Cyberpunk? I know Keanu Reeves is going to be a character model, but I don't really know anything about it. And then you got Watch Dogs. I gotta commend. I'm torn. I'm torn. On one hand, it's really cool. Watch Dogs 3 is going to be so different to the other Watch Dog games, because the main criticism people had for Watch Dogs was its boring protagonist and boring world. But on the other hand, using an existing brand just for extra marketing, because that's all it really is at the end of the day. Watch Dogs 3 seems to be a very vastly different game. And it seems like they're like, okay, well, we're going to make more money if we have Watch Dogs in the title, because it's already well known, even if people had criticisms of it. But we'll change as much about it as possible. Minus being able to scan people and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Recruiting stuff. But my question is Ubisoft a good enough developer to really change the game like that? I mean, how many games from Ubisoft were game changers, revolutionary, that didn't take massive inspiration from other games? You know what I mean? Would Assassin's Creed count? You know, what's so special about Assassin's Creed? Didn't they make Splinter Cell though? Splinter Cell 1. Splinter Cell is amazing. Dude, Splinter Cell, I had one of the worst times ever with Splinter Cell 3, Chaos Theory. After I did my Let's Play years ago, which is terrible, I hate it. I hate that Let's Play. I was too stuck up about it. I wanted to do it right, because I was bad at the game, and I didn't think people would want to see me getting spotted. So during the Let's Play, I was like, okay, you want to go over here, you want to press X on this button. But I wanted to get the platinum. So I was playing Chaos Theory, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and to get the platinum, I had to beat the game on the highest level. And I just, after telling you, I suck at the game. So I fought my way as hard as I could. I fought my way through the game. Like, we got this. Got to the last level. Beat the game on professional to get the gold trophy for beating the game on professional. Hardest level. Hardest game setting. Finally, beat the game. I did it. I got the platinum in Splinter Cell. Where's the ding? Where's that platinum sound ding? Why isn't my trophy unlocking? Trophy didn't unlock. Last trophy. Hardest setting. Hardest trophy for me. Reloaded the game. Reloaded the level. 5 minutes from the ending. Beat the game. Nope. Didn't unlock. So I go up on the Google, and I'm like, where the fuck's my trophy, man? Where's my trophy? Where's this Splinter Cell trophy? Some dudes are like, yo, this happened to me. You know what I had to do about it? I had to delete my game and the data, and then I had to start again. And I was like, motherfuckers, you're saying I had to beat professional mode from scratch again? And that's what I had to do. And it was fucking cruel, because I had to do it immediately. It couldn't be something I did 6 months later, because it's one of those things where I suck at the game. I know I suck at the game, and any skill I learned along the way is going to become rusty and evaporate by the time I get back to it. So I was so sick of the game before the trophy glitched. I was so sick of... the game's amazing, but I was burned out. I didn't want to play it anymore. And when I beat it, I was a big giant sigh of relief. I don't have to play it anymore. Then the trophy didn't unlock. And now you're telling me I have to play it all over again? So I had to jump straight into that before my skills start, reversing back to where they were, reverting back to zero. And it was like maybe 3 days of of harsh cruelty. But I finally got the goddamn trophy unlocked, and I got my platinum. And for me, as far as Ubisoft go, that's probably as good as they got, you know. So, Watch Dogs 3, I don't really see it. I don't feel it. Maybe you do. Tell me if you do. You know, be like, hey Kris, you know, I think you're full of shit. I think Watch Dogs was great. I think Watch Dogs 2 was better, even though nobody can even remember what that looked like. And I think Watch Dogs 3 is going to be the best. But I'm looking at it, and I feel like they're trying to be... See, they're trying to be hardcore with the permadeath, but it's Ubisoft. It's the company where I got so bored of being near immortal in Assassin's Creed 2. This is a true story. I was playing Assassin's Creed 2. I got so dulled out by being near immortal that I purposely went to kill myself. I was in Venice, and I jumped off a building. Not the highest building, but a high fucking building. I jumped off the building, right? And I've already beaten the story at this point. I was getting trophies. My PlayStation 3 broke before I got the platinum. But, damn, that sucked. But I was getting trophies at this point. I jumped off a 4-story building, and I landed with, boom, this much health left. I didn't fucking die. And I was like, dude, this game is for fucking toddlers. This game is for babies. I'm not saying an easy game means it's for babies, but if it's a game, if the game's about stealth action, then I expect to at least, you know, have to try, not get carried. I dropped 4 stories, break every bone in my body, live. And for the first time in my entire 40-hour run of the game, or whatever hour it may be, I had to use a health pack, because you have health packs. And I had 5 of them. I think that was the max. First time I ever had to use them. And I used it, and I got my full health back. I turned the character around, the camera around. What's next to me? What's immediately 2 feet from me? Like, put your hand out and you can touch him. The fucking doctor with the mask that sells health packs. He's like right there, by coincidence. So, within 10 seconds, for the first time ever, I nearly died. I got my health back, and I got my health pack back, just like that. I sat there and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I'm looking at Watch Dogs 3, and I'm like, these are the dudes. Yes, they made Rainbow Six Siege. Fucking cool as shit. But that's a competitive game. Their single player games are like, hey man, are you okay? You look a little down and out. Hey, I tell you what. We'll lower the accuracy of all the men shooting at you for a few minutes, and then you can regenerate some health, and you'll be all right. And for the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're permadeath, and I'm like, why bother have a permadeath if you're gonna make it to a point where no one's gonna care, you know, because you're gonna be so easy. I guarantee you. I'm not saying, but I'm guaranteeing you, many of y'all are gonna beat that entire game with like maybe 3 deaths at best. At least the ones that play cautiously. You know, the ones who are like, I like this character, he ain't dying, I'm going to take care of him. I actually felt bad for the dude in the trailer that died. I felt pretty bad for him. I was like, man, I didn't expect a character with a voice actor and a personality to just get killed like that. I don't watch movies like that, you know what I mean? If I'm watching a movie where the main character dies 10 minutes in, or 15 minutes in or whatever, and then gets replaced by someone else, I'm like, no, I'm out. You just ruined it. I'm a bitch. I like my cliched good guy wins, gets the girl, rides off into the sunset. You know, give me anything else, and it's more of a movie narrative thing. It's just weird. It disturbs me. Legitimately disturbs me. In real life, you know, that shit happens every day. Cops get killed, shopkeepers, all that, all these good people, you know. Unless they're a racist cop. But, you know, I think Watch Dogs 3, I'm not saying it sucks. I'm just saying the company I have no faith in. They're like the opposite of how I feel about From Software. And it's not a difficulty thing. It's a balance thing. It's a vision following thing. Ubisoft are a company that they make games as if they're ticking off a checklist, you know? Okay, GPS, world map, 150 things to collect, really terrible voiceover, fake acting shit in our trailers. You know, they have all that. Whereas other companies like Kojima Productions are like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I'm going to do this, and then it's going to turn out to be an $80 million budget, and the console is on, it's not strong enough, and I'm going to complain about it for 6 years. But at the end of the day, it's like this dude has an idea, and you can see his idea, and you're like, that's nice, man. That's real nice. From Software is the same. Naughty Dog, to a degree, comes off similarly. I mean, people don't think about it these days, but back before The Last of Us came out, everyone was like, health doesn't regenerate? Survival? Action? Horror? Limited ammo? Those are all buzzwords casual gamers hate. There's no way in hell you're going to make this game or sell it. But they did, and everyone's like, well, 15 million units later. You know what I mean? People forget, before Last of Us came out, nobody AAA would have touched a game like that and expected those kind of results. I mean, at the time, Capcom were all over Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 5, you know, with their action. And to their credit, both those games have sold 10 million plus units and are the best-selling games in the franchise. So despite the fans not liking it, they're making money. So The Last of Us being all like, hey, survival horror is dead. We're bringing it back, bitch. Holy shit. You know what I mean? For me, Ubisoft are like a company that they're a AAA company, but they don't want to go outside the safe zone. They don't want to take them risks, and that ain't gonna happen. I mean, isn't EA the same? They're not making Dead Space anymore for those very reasons, and we're not getting 5 million sales per game for Dead Space, so we ain't gonna do it. At least I think it's EA. I always get mixed up between those two companies, Ubisoft and EA. But that's really all that's on my mind right now. Other than that, just playing some Final Fantasy VII. First time I've ever really sat down to play that game. I've bought it. This is my third time biting into Final Fantasy VII. I've now spent a total of $102 or €102 on Final Fantasy VII, and I've never gotten past the gold saucer part of disc 1. I got lost in a desert, and I leveled up so much. I got to like level 73 on disc 1, and that demotivated me because I didn't want to be too strong. And then like I got the PlayStation 3 for the first time at that point also. So if you're asking me which do I want to play, shitty little polygon cartoon game or brand new PlayStation 3 Resistance Fall of Man, oh my god. You know, Final Fantasy VII is a better game, but you get me a brand new console, brand new game, and I'm like, oh shit, see ya, Cloud. You know what I mean? And I just never went back to it. And then I tried to go back to it 3 other times, and I never made it out of Midgar. I just lost interest. So I've really buckled down, and I'm like, I'm playing this, and I'm gonna beat this. And I gotta say, I'm loving it. I can't remember 90% of the shit that I did in the past that I'm doing now. Can't remember it. I know there's a red car I'm gonna get soon, but most of it, I don't remember the story. The story. Here's my update on Final Fantasy VII. I like the characters. I love the world. I love the world building. I love how the NPCs feel realistic. As in, they feel like they're part of that world and it brings it all together. I like the combat and the magic and the animations. I don't like the graphics. And I don't like the dialogue. And I don't like the characterization of some of the characters. Now, no spoilers or anything, but why is Sephiroth such a cool dude to people? He's a mama's boy emo bitch. He's angry because he was cloned. He's angry because, okay, the mama thing I get. Blow up the planet. If someone touched my mama, if someone touched my mammy, I'd nuke Detroit straight away. You know? It'd be gone. Off the map. If you give me a nuclear bomb, goodbye Detroit. But, as a villain, his little mental breakdown and stuff, as of right now where I am in the game, he comes across as a bitch. And he acts like a bitch, and he's trying to be cool, but he's still a bitch. You know what I mean? But Cloud, I actually have the reversed opinion on, because for me, Cloud in Kingdom Hearts was a bitch. Cloud in that movie is a bitch. And Cloud in every artwork I've ever seen, he's a bitch. But in the actual Final Fantasy VII game I'm playing, he's pretty damn cool. He's snarky if you want him to be. You have so many options. He's confident, even if he feels a lot of regret. He's like regrets being a soldier. He regrets being a soldier. He's you know what it's like? I know I'm a fanboy and I bring this up a lot. It's like Solid Snake, man. It's like Solid and Liquid Snake. Liquid Snake is Sephiroth. He's all like, woe is me. My life sucks. I'm a clone. Wow, I'm human garbage. Cloud is like, war is bad. But I get the thrill. I can only feel alive in combat. And I'm depressed about it. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to get over myself. I'm going to be a man about it. All right? I'm going to fuck y'all. I'm out. You know, I'm liking him. I'm liking him a lot. And I'm sadly going to have to admit this. I feel like I'm becoming one of those Final Fantasy VII fans that start to obsess about it and can't shut the fuck up about it. I'm sorry. I didn't want this to happen. But it seems I'm becoming a Final Fantasy VII fanboy. And that's not something I ever want to admit. Because you know what them Final Fantasy VII fanboys are like, you know? You know what they be all about. Jesus. And Tifa? Oh, god damn, man. Why do they have to make her so attractive? I mean, Jesus. The big titties are stupid. But I'm a man, dude. I'm a straight dude. The titties are fucking clown-sized and stupid. But god damn. You take them away from me, we're going to have a problem. You know? Stupid. I think the character I dislike most is probably Aerith, or whatever her name is. Simply because she spent the first half of this one so far being a pushover and a victim. Hey, Cloud, do you like girls who tan or have fair complexion? I like them pasty bitches, man. Oh, I'll be sure to keep that in mind. And you know, you see her with a fucking giant black umbrella later on. Hey, Cloud, look how pale I am. Cloud. Damn it, he's talking to Tifa again. That whore. We all know they're fake, bitch. You know? Goddamn. But, Tifa for Tekken 8 DLC, please. You fucking put Noctis into it. You know? You put Noctis in Tekken 7. Put Tifa in Tekken 8. Okay, I'm leaving it. I'm gonna start ranting. I can feel it building up. Thanks everybody who watched my very first podcast. You know, there's no background music. It's just me talking. I usually, when I do vlogs, I'm like, hey, let's have some background music up in this bitch. And I Googled to see if, because I don't know any podcasts that have background music. and I looked up to see what people had to say, and they were like, "You want to put background music on a podcast? How dare you?" And I'm like, "Man, calm down. It's to fill the dead air and to stop people from hearing me going with the spit in my mouth, you know?" But people are like crazy about that. If I'm listening to a podcast, the last thing I want to hear is some surfing music in the background. When I'm on my long, lonely drives to meet my mistress, Tony, well, you know, I want to listen to an audiobook, or I want to listen to a podcast. If I'm listening to a podcast, I want to listen to music. You know, they're very two different things. And I'm like, fuck, fine. Have your dead air. Enjoy. But that's all I really want to talk about today. A whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of everything. If you enjoyed this, then please consider follow me on Patreon, becoming a patron and supporting the channel. Or you can donate with links below and shit. That would help a lot. And it will keep all this stuff going because, like I said, you know, this is because of Patreon. That's because of Patreon. All this, I wouldn't be here. I'd be here with a $20 headset. You know what I mean? And more importantly, tell me what you thought of this episode. And if there's anything you would like to hear in the future. And if there's any little moderate changes I could do. I'm kind of stuck in this position because I ain't carrying the PC around, and I don't got a camera to film outside. So this is the office, you know, this is the studio, my fake leather chair. This is the casting call, the casting couch. It's all good. But tell me what you thought of this episode. Tell me what you think of this podcast. I will be doing normal vlogs more often too. Some react videos to game trailers and stuff would be nice because I like I said, I tend to have things to talk about, and sometimes people might be interested. So don't forget to follow, don't forget to subscribe. If you can become a patron, or you can donate, or you can also subscribe over on Twitch. Links are all below, and I'm grateful. See y'all later. Bye bye.